BAC TV presents Live to You in America, communicating through programs and services to inform, educate, enlighten, and enrich the entire world.
For you have never failed me yet. Oh, we worship, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. Oh Lord, I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence, you've never failed. Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall. Come and worship, for you have never failed me yet. Oh Jesus, oh, we said, waiting for a change to come, knowing the battle's won, for you have never failed me yet. Oh, we say, oh, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. Oh Lord, I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence, you've never failed me yet. Come on, worship. Oh, I know the night won't last. Oh Lord, your word will come to pass, and my heart will sing your praise again. Oh Jesus, you're still enough. Jesus, you're still enough. Keep me within your love. Oh Lord, my heart will sing your praise again. Oh Lord, we sing, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. Oh Lord, I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence, you've never failed. Oh, I see you move the mountains, and I believe, Lord, I'll see you do it again. You made a way, Jesus, when there was no way, and I believe, oh Lord, I'll see you do it again. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe, oh Lord, I'll see you do it again. You made a way when there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. Oh Lord, I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence, you've never failed me yet. I never will forget. 'Cause you never failed me yet. Oh, and I never will forget. Oh, you reign in my soul. Oh, you reign in my soul. I will never be alone. I will never be alone. Oh, you reign in my soul. Oh, you reign in my soul. I will never be alone. I will never be alone. Oh, you reign in my soul. Oh, you reign in my soul. I will never be alone. I will never be alone. Oh, you reign in my soul. Oh, you reign in my soul. I will never be alone. I will never be alone. Oh, you reign in my soul. Oh, you reign in my soul. I will never be alone. I will never be alone. Oh, you reign in my soul. Oh, you reign in my soul. I will never be alone. I will never be alone. Amen.
Hello, thank you once again, viewers. Sister Evelyn, God bless you so much for taking us through His presence. You are once again welcome to Back TV, live and stream, Real Time with AB. Tonight is another episode of our discussion that we've been dealing with, talking about the young adult and the youth. And tonight we are here at the studio once again. And I want you to join us and tune in. For those of you who want to watch us on Facebook, we are having little difficulties, technical difficulties right now, but you can subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell, and you can watch us live as we are live on YouTube at the moment. And I believe by the time we'll be getting through the episode in our discussions, the technical team will try as much as possible to put it back on Facebook Live. So wherever you are, just subscribe to YouTube and search for Back TV Live and Stream, and you'll be connected to join our episode for tonight, talking about the young adult and the youth of 21st century. Tonight, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back as we directly connect to the topic of the moment. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Real talk, real people, real places, real things, real solutions. Watch Back TV live stream, 7:30 p.m. sharp, Eastern Standard Time. This Friday, watch Real Time with AB on Back TV live stream. Real Time with AB. This is a show you don't want to miss.
Thank you for staying where you are. Please just pay attention to us tonight. Be very attentive to us tonight. It's going to be a very interesting moment tonight at the studio here as we've been dealing with the young adult in the 21st century. In the beginning of our episode of Back TV Live and Stream here with Evangelist Beatrice Abuaji, we've been dealing with the passion that she has for the young adult and the youth. And she's been doing a very tremendous work, putting all effort to make sure this youth will have a better fulfillment in their life and know that their life is not a wasted, and they are not a wasted product leader, but they have something unique in them that can bring up into a better place for their living and their status of living in life, and know that they are also called by God. And therefore tonight, once again, we are live here at the studio, and my favorite guest tonight, once again, is Evangelist Beatrice Abuaji. You are welcome to the studio.
Thank you. like your shirt.
Thank you.
Very pretty.
Thank you. I know Evangelist is little down under the weather, or I don't know what it is, but it's been above 70 degrees outside, so I don't know how you got into this situation. But then again, tonight you are here, and we are very grateful that you were able to make it. And then we are going to go into the topic of discussion that we've been dealing with, as usual. As you know, she's the visionary for YAMI, Youth at Blaze Ministry International. She's doing a very tremendous traveling around, gathering the youth and the young adults, putting them together, imparting something positive into their life, giving them a hope, even when they found that there is no hope in them. And she's doing a very tremendous job. And most of her clips and videos have been shown on this platform. And she's still continuing and moving forward and striving very forward and taking on, and no matter what she says, she's not going to quit. She's still going to continue to do what she's doing, what she has been called to do. And we thank you for such person like you. We wish we could have a lot of you in this century that can have the passion for the youth. You know, for us, some of us, maybe our time is, you know, some of us wish we could go back and then take it back. But then again, we've, you know, gone ahead already. But we can still be, maybe one day we can also be as like the youth, and then begin to learn from most of the things that we did not have the opportunity to learn from, you know, when we were growing up. And then thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. And we're very inspired by Sister Evelyn Amu, who gave us the inspirational worship. She's doing a very wonderful job. Please don't go nowhere. She's going to be here.
Congratulate her.
Yeah.
She got her license
for driving.
For driving today.
Oh, congratulations! She has successfully acquired her driving license to be a professional driver. And Sister Evelyn, God bless you so much. We thank God for your life. Oh wow! Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Evangelist, I know we've been dealing with the topic. We spoke a lot when it comes to the youth, and I know there is a lot to go deep into when it comes to dealing with them. I mean, we've spoken about the affections, we've spoken about the neglection, we've spoken of the abandonment, we've spoken on unattended. I mean, there are a lot that we have spoken about. And I know last week we were talking about the neglection of feeling unloved.
Yes.
The neglection of feeling unloved. What are the things that make them feel that they are not loved? And I know you have some key points that you were giving, but we couldn't, you know, wrap it up. And tonight, I believe maybe you have more for us for our viewers to hear, because it's something that goes on around, especially at the homes, you know, and even sometimes in the churches and the communities. You know, people come to a place they feel that they have been abandoned. You know, because I remember Bob Marley said something, and I always make a quote of this. He says, in abundance of the waters, you can still feel lonely.
Right.
You can feel still lonely. So even though you can be a lot of people around you, but still you can be lonely. You know, people can neglect you. And I see most of these things in the religious circle a lot, especially when people gather for the assemblies in the name of Christ. People walk in, and at the end of the day, you feel that you are not welcome, you are not, you know, attended to, and you feel so lonely. Maybe, you know, and because of that, sometimes people don't even feel like they don't want to go to church anymore, or they don't want to find themselves in the religious cycle, because it's a place that there is no comfort for them. They are not being appreciated, or they are not being welcome.
You're supposed to have liberty there.
That is where it's supposed to be. So, you know, we pray that these things will change as we are going on with this kind of discussion and topics. People will begin to learn and begin to see the effect that it has on people, not even on the just young adult and the youth alone, because even some of the adults, you know, these things have an effect on them. But our main focus now is the youth and the young adults. And we were talking about the lack of neglection, and how we spoke about that. And then what are the causes of the effects for them feeling unloved? The causes of and the effects making them, seeing them that they don't belong. They are not loved, you know. And I remember the last time you were giving us some key points, and based on that factor, especially you being on the field, seeing them a lot, talking to them a lot, handling them a lot, you know. So I want us to, you know, tell us, where we left off last week. Tell us, what are the causes? What are the causes of effects? When it comes to the medical field, they say, what are the symptoms? But for us, what are the causes and the effects? So if you can just elaborate that on us, so our viewers can. Please, if you just join us, we are here live at Back TV Live and Stream. Subscribe on YouTube, and you watch us live. Facebook, we have a little technical difficulty, but still go on YouTube, search for Back TV Live and Stream, and you still connect to us. We are live here. It's not a pre-recorded. We are live here at the studio. So please join us. Evangelist,
okay.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Amen. And I give you the opportunity for us to go into, why they feel they are not, they don't feel they're loved.
Loved, yeah. Sister Evelyn, thank you once again. And thank you.
You're welcome.
For the opportunity. We talk about so many things, and we reach insecurity and attachment. Insecurity and attachment is when they don't feel comfortable home. They look for a place outside to go.
Insecurity and attachment.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's when they look for environment that they can feel comfortable. They should forgive me about my voice because I did a lot of home remedy before I'm able to come here and speak.
So the remedy will be working?
Yeah, I couldn't even talk this morning.
Okay.
My voice was gone. So that is the insecurity. They feel insecure in their own home.
Okay.
So they think that when they go outside, they can get somebody who can love them. And then all these things will bound up and make them feel depression and anxiety. And these things, depression and anxiety, can cause them mental problem.
Mental disorder.
Mental disorder. I remember when we were kids, like my mother was getting a lot of abuse from my father, so my mother has to just run away and leave us. So she ran away, she left us with our father, who is always getting drunk.
Okay.
He was, if he's not drunk, he's quiet. But as soon as he take a drink, he can start shooting and all that,
He has a gun?
He won't kill anybody, but he would just...
He has a gun at home?
He has a gun. And everybody know my father was a troublemaker. So...
Is he a military man?
I don't even
know. Or license to protect? Self-defense?
He had license to have his... In fact, he used to take me to farm, to the forest to kill animals and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those come on. Okay.
My mother had 4 girls with him, so I was trained as a boy. I was always with him when he's going to farm.
Okay.
So we're talking about the depression and anxiety. So my mother left us. 2 of us were with him. And can you imagine the situation? We were very, very depressed, For me, I will run and go and hide in a bush around the house. I will hide for like a week or whatever. I will hide until maybe he's drunk and went to bed, and then I will jump the wall and come home. But I think it really got affected. It affected my older sister a lot. I won't go far, but it really affected her mentally and emotionally. And then also number 7 is oversensitivity.
Okay.
When a child is depressed and anxiety, all those anxiety comes in, they become oversensitive.
Okay.
And they say certain things. That's when the parents get angry, because we don't realize that it is their situation that is making them say things that they have been saying. So when it happens like that, we should not take it personally. You know, we should give them benefit of the doubt and try and find out what is actually happening to that child. And last time I said that we should make it a priority to demonstrate our love and affection for them to know that we love them.
Okay.
Even when their test report is not
If it is not
good,
bad.
it's not good.
Because one thing I know, every parent
don't want to see
every
that.
parent is first in class.
Yes, they don't want
They
to
never
see
failed before. So, but when their child did not do well, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah. So when you see them being sensitive like that, begin to praise them in every little things that they do. Oh, you did well, even though you didn't do well this time, but I know next time you're going to do well.
Positive words of encouragement.
Positive words of encouragement.
Okay.
But my question is, how will you make the child know that he is valued?
How would you make the child know that he's valued?
Yes. So we're talking about them feeling unloved. So now you have to do something for them to know that they are loved and they are valued.
So how do we do that? Is it by buying them gifts?
Okay.
Giving them the Apple, iPhone,
No.
getting them all the necessary accessories and all the material things that they're looking for? Is that what makes them look more valued, or what is it?
No. You
Okay.
can give them those stuff, but that's really not the necessary things to make them have the affection or feel the affection.
But some parents or some homes believe that those are the things make the child look more valued by giving them all what they ask for.
Yes, I know we have young adults here or youth here, but I definitely want to tell you that those things is not something that they are looking for. Sometimes you can buy something for the child and they'll take it and throw it away, meaning that's not what I'm looking for from you, you know.
So that is
So I have some methods here that
okay. Share with
we
us.
will share.
Yeah.
All right.
How do the child feel that he or she is valued?
It's valued, okay.
Right.
A child feels valued if you treat them nice. You have to treat them nice and you have to give them respect. Children always expect parents to give them respect back. A genuine respect.
But not yelling at them,
Not
screaming at them.
Yelling and screaming. You know, you can love them, but it's not every child that like yelling and screaming. That yelling and screaming can easily drive them away from you. Yes. Because my son one day told me, you can talk to me, but if you yell, you make me panic.
But do you know that realizing that,
can
saying
make
that,
them
I've also realized that there are people, I mean, naturally, the way they talk, their speech, does not mean harm, but that is how
Yes.
they just talk. But then some people can misunderstood or quote them and thinking that they are very arrogant.
Study the person. I have one guy at my workplace that came to me one day and said, when I hear you talking, I feel like my mother. And after doing a research, I found out that he couldn't get along with the mother because the mother is always yelling when she's talking. So then, to deal with that particular person, I started bringing my voice down when he's around. I have to tone my voice
Only
down.
when he's around.
I mean, I learned, you know,
Okay.
to bring my tone down because of what he said.
Okay.
So, because the type of job I do is just like taking care of children, you know. You have to learn them to know how to treat them because every little thing they snap, and if they snap, it's not easy. So you have to learn how to deal with them. So the parents have to make their children feel valued by respecting them.
Genuine respect.
Genuine respect. Demonstrate respect, demonstrate love to the children. Make them know that they are loved.
Okay.
And when you do that, they feel valued. Because every child that is growing knows that they are valuable. But when you do that to them, you bring them down. Every day yelling and saying all kinds of curse words to them, you bring them down. You make them not feel valued.
So let me ask you this question. What about if the child is very, very disobedient, regardless of whatever you tell him or her, they disobeyed? How do you give them that? Because there are certain homes when you go or when you visit certain homes, he's always yelling. Why? Because you might tell the child, don't put these socks here.
Right.
And as old as that child is, keep repeating his or herself and doing the same thing consistently. I think as a parent, at one point, you're going to get to the peak.
Yes. We have different characteristics of people. Some of the children, there are certain type of way that you have to talk to them for them to listen.
Okay.
Some of them you have to yell or, and yelling is not yelling like you yell for all the neighbors to hear you yelling. So again, you have to find a way of talking to that particular child. You can even take something that the child really loves away from them. Yeah. So you discipline the child. You can take it from them. Then as the child is crying or whatever, you take them and you talk to them. You said, because of this, that's why I took this. If you listened, you're going to have it.
But I've seen in a home where, I'm a pastor. So we talk to people a lot. We hear people a lot. But this is where you see some homes, some families or the parents of that home. Because of disciplining the child by, as you're saying, taking away what the child loves so much, taking it away from the child, just to give him or her the discipline action to pay attention, or be very attentive to not to be repeating his or herself and taking away. And then either the mother or the father disagreed. And then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, that is the problem too. The parents has to be in one accord. If the father agrees and the mother doesn't agree, it brings problem.
And I've seen that.
Yes, and that is the mistake we, the parents, we make. Because sometimes some of the parents want to please their children. May want to show to the children that, oh, I'm better than your mother, like I'm good. Your mother is no good. When things like that happen, it means there's no oneness in a family. There's no oneness in the family. The mother wants the children to love her better than
the father.
And the father wants the children to love him better than the mother. And when it's like that, there's always conflict. And that is also make the children manipulate the parents.
Because they say one thing about the other person to the other, and then the other person will believe what they are saying.
And the children can cause commotion through that. Daddy, when you are not here, Mommy said this, that. Mommy, when you are not here, Daddy said that. Oh, you know this. Oh, you know that. So by the time you realize your own child is making.
So meaning that in the house, there is no one voice between the parents. There is no one voice. Yeah. Because Mommy said this, Daddy said this, and it's two different things. In the absence of Mommy, Daddy will say this to the kids. In the absence of Daddy, Mommy will say these things to the kids.
Yeah. And then it will bring problem. But we have to mind ourselves that when the problem comes, it affects the children too.
So then again, like we always been saying, some of the problem that affects the causes and the effect of these children to go through
Most of them are from home.
is from home, and it's from the parents.
Most, maybe. Most of them are from home.
If you just join us, we are live on Back TV. Subscribe on YouTube live, and you be connected to this exciting moment of time. We are talking about how can the children feel loved instead of feeling unloved. And there are some of the key points Evangelist is making here in terms of separation, setting apart, and then also giving them the genuine respect which the kids deserve. But then again, some of the questions are coming up again where we are talking. And I know Evangelist is very equipped and ready to answer all those questions that is coming from here. And she's ready to give us all the maximum to her best ability to educate us tonight here. So if you just join us, please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Fulfilling destiny depends on the choice you make in life. Make a choice today. Join Destiny Impact Worldwide Inc. Watch Impact Hour on Back TV and live stream this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by Dr. Harriet Ajay. And your life will never be the same. Destiny Impact Worldwide Inc. Shaping lives to fulfill purpose.
Thank you for staying tuned and welcome back on Back TV live and stream real time with AB when the real recognizes the real. We are live here once again at the studio with Evangelist, and we are talking about the love, the respect
Yes.
for the kids, for our children, for the youth, for the young adults. How we can give them the accommodation for them also to feel that they belong. You know, they are valued and they are not separated and they are isolated, and you know, so and they are not set aside, but they also belong. So, Evangelist, I know you are making some very good key points here, and I believe most people are watching and they're listening to us. Please share your views, your comment on YouTube, Facebook as well. Share your comment. We will be glad to read them and let viewers also get to know some of the things that parents as a whole or as a home or as a family, what are the things that we can do to make sure there will always be harmonious moment of time and peace at home so that everybody will be at a place of happiness. So Evangelist, back to you again.
Okay, another point is to treat them, to make them feel valued, is to spend time with them. Spend a child that is a little difficult, find time to spend alone time with that child and talk to them. So whilst you are showing respect and finding alone time with them, it brings closeness to them. It made them develop some kind of belief in you. And then when you spend time with them, do little things. You don't have to do like huge things. Take a walk with them, you know, or go buy snacks with them, sit somewhere, talk, ask questions, and then don't let your question be they said rhetorical. Your question would be, you didn't go to school yesterday, right? You didn't? No. So how was school yesterday? What did you study? You know, how was the course? Don't put the question to them and make it seem like you know the answer already, but you are, even if you know the answer already, find a little...
Don't be very authoritative.
Yes. You know, psychological way of asking them questions.
I mean, we have one of the young adults here. We're going to bring her soon. And I know with their generation, she'll be on to tell us a lot of things of what we are discussing.
Yeah.
Because some of these things, they understand the language more than us.
Yes.
They understand the language more than us. Sometimes I know this, the youth and the young adults, sometimes even though with the emotional depression and the things they go through, they cannot tell us, but then again, they just have to do it because we are parents and they have to give us the maximum respect. But then again, within them, emotionally, they are getting affected.
Yes, and the thing is, we get frustrated because we want them to tell us, but they won't tell us. But 1 out of 10 child will tell their secret to the parent. They don't. That's why you have to find somebody like your their Sunday school teacher or somebody, you know, outside that is trustworthy. They like to tell them more than the parent, depending on the relationship you have with the child. Like what I'm saying, it bring closeness to you, you know, spend together time. It made them feel comfortable with you. You know, and they feel comfortable to approach you also, how to share something with you. You don't do it one time and then back up. You have to find a way to do it a couple of times. Make the child feel comfortable and develop trust in you. Yeah, and let the child know that you love them.
So spending time with them is also another crucial thing to deal with them.
Alone time.
You know,
take a walk, go to picnic with that child, or go to a park, or go somewhere, or you can find something that she likes to do, and you can go with them, game or something, and then accompany the child. So while you are coming, you can talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your thoughts on that and educating us. And I believe most of us are listening, not just for the youth again, but it's also an educative moment for the parent as well. And I believe for most parents who doesn't know, maybe we'll take a little note on this and you know, take advice on this and then try to exhibit it. And I believe it will bring some little transformation and change within the kids and even at home, so that there will be peace at home.
Yes.
And so instead of parents loving the other one than the other and causing all divisions, and because children are very, very easy to influence.
Sensitive, yeah.
They are very, very easy to influence, especially when you begin to give them all what they want.
And they like to be reassured. Children like to be reassured that you love them.
Right.
Right. So every time you have to make them know that you really love them, because love is not on condition. You understand?
Right.
And that is one mistake that we also make as parents. We love them the love that we're supposed to have for them is supposed to be unconditional.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be on condition. Do you understand?
Right.
I love that child because he listened to me. Everybody likes their children when they listen. I mean, that no doubt. But for me, I've come to realize that we have to love all of them unconditional.
But then again, when you read the Bible carefully, in the book of Genesis, it said, and Joseph's parents loved Joseph more than his brethren. They loved Joseph more than his brethren, you know, because he has a young head. You know, he has an old head upon his shoulder. So meaning that he was smarter than his brother. So anything he goes to tell the parents, they believed him than when his brother Reuben and all those go and tell, because he is being loved more. So even though when he go and tell lies, the parents will believe him because you know, he was a smart guy. You
know, Joseph, Joseph suffered a lot before having Rachel. Jacob suffered a lot before having Rachel.
Right.
And then when he had Rachel suffered a lot before having Joseph. So if you can see, people who suffer a lot before having children, when they have children, they don't know what to do with the children. But today, it's hard for me to speak. So.
The reason why I brought that in is because I've seen parents where, excuse me to say, I see parents who, during pregnancy, they go through cesarean or C-section, and because of that, not through natural birth, when they give out they give birth to the child, they give all love to that child because they feel that they've been through so much.
They've been through death and life.
Right,
death
because
and
that
life.
was life and death situation.
Right.
So they've been through so much. So even the child is getting spoiled, they still don't want to discipline the child because of what they went through.
Even the Bible has said when a woman is going through pain, as soon as the child is born, and when the woman sees the child, all the pain is gone.
Yeah, but then again, when you read Bible carefully, you realize that women are naturally called to go through pain, to suffer.
Yes. But as soon as the child is born, you look at the child, you say, oh, all my suffering and my pain is now...
Like Hannah.
Yes.
He said that the Lord, I will give it back to you.
Yes. So Joseph was somebody who was really loved, and they had him also on their old age. Mm-hmm. Usually when parents have the child... retirement baby. They pamper them a lot.
Retirement baby.
Yes.
Okay.
They pamper them a lot.
Please, if you just join us, we are talking about the causes and the effect of feeling unloved by our youth and young adults, even at home, where the children don't feel the love of the parents, they don't feel the affection, and we are dealing with a lot of key points here, and we also want to encourage the parents. Let's give them the genuine respect, as Evangelist is saying. Let's give them the genuine respect. Let us not pamper them whilst we know they are doing wrong. Parents be together to understand one another and let the people know that you are there to raise up these kids and bring them up, give them a better understanding, love, and bring them to a place that they all know that this home is a home of happiness, but not a home of division. We'll be having one of the young adults here who is going to tell us a lot. I have a lot for her, and she's going to be telling us a lot through their time and the generation of most of the things, because we believe that the system that we are in now, like we said the other time, everything has become very technological.
Yeah.
Our system is different, and they are growing faster, moving faster, advancing more ahead than us.
Yeah.
So some of the things that we, in our time, we look at it, that this is how they have to do it. In this system, with the technology system that we have, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
That is why sometimes you can still see a person as a secretariat refusing to use laptop or computer. They still want to use typewriters because they feel that that is the best and that is what they know. And they still want to use the typewriter and be tuning and typing and, So even when you're trying to advance them and educate them with the new system that they will tell you, when where were you? When we were doing this, when were you born? And these are some of the things that, parents are also lacking when it comes to. So there is also need of paying attention to the kids. We need to pay attention to them and listen to them.
One thing we also have to do is we have to start learning
from them.
I love to learn from the young people. Because there are a lot of things that is new in the system, and they know and we don't.
Of course.
So we're supposed to start learning from them and blend it and modify things. We can't just have our old mind and
our old system
and keep judging them. We're not supposed to be judgmental. The love is supposed to be smooth, especially in the divorce home. Because, you know, the divorce affects the children too.
Yeah.
But that's what the parents fail to realize. They don't realize that the divorce even sometimes affect the children more than the parents themselves. So that is where whoever keeps the children, either is the man or the woman, that is where you're going to show more love, respect, and concern about them because they are hurt. They love to see the parents together, but it's not like that anymore. They go to places, they see their friends, father and mother together. When they are doing something in school, they see them together, they feel sad. And so they begin to act some way. You don't know what they are thinking. You understand? You don't know that the divorce is affecting them.
So instead of loving them more, you don't release the stress
you release your stress,
on them
and begin to
either to blame their father or blame the mother.
Yes, and it just drives them away. So we should show more love to the divorce home children, even than anybody.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This program is sponsored by Believers Temple of Praise and also Destiny Impact. They are also our proud sponsors. Please, if you want to be a proud sponsor for this program, you are welcome. At the end of this episode, there will be numbers and information on the screen. Please write them down and you can call us. And, you know, if you have a story and you want to share, let the viewers, people out there want to know, so that they can also learn from your experience. Please, you are welcome. You can call us, and then we'll sit down with you and, you know, and invite you to the studio so you can also share your story with the people out there. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Experience an atmosphere of worship, pure worship, with Nana Osei, the Worshipers album launch on April 14, 2019. Courtesy BB Events and HGMP at 3 p.m. sharp at Tom Ring Hotel East Lake on Accra, Ghana. Special performances: Randy Ajimai, Pastor Isaiah, Sissy Chum, Reverend Mary Ganser, SP Kofi Sapong, Francis Amu, Ohima Messi, and Stacey Amawi, author of The King's Choice. For more information, call 0263-159-382 or 0203-299-538. This is an event you don't want to miss. See you there.
Help me sing.
Fulfilling destiny depends on the choice you make in life. Make a choice today. Join Destiny Impact Worldwide Inc. Watch Impact Hour on Back TV and live stream this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by Dr. Harriet Ajay. And your life will never be the same. Destiny Impact Worldwide Inc. Shaping lives to fulfill purpose. Real talk, real people, real places, real things, real solutions. Watch Back TV live stream, 7:30 p.m. sharp, Eastern Standard Time. This Friday, watch Real Time with AB on Back TV live stream. Real Time with AB. This is a show you don't want to miss. Experience an atmosphere of worship, pure worship, with Nana Osei, the Worshipers album launch on April 14, 2019. Courtesy BB Events and HGMP at 3 p.m. sharp at Tom Ring Hotel East Lake on Accra, Ghana. Special performances: Randy Ajimai, Pastor Isaiah, Sissy Chum, Reverend Mary Ganser, SP Kofi Sapong, Francis Amu, Ohima Messi, and Stacey Amawi, author of The King's Choice. Boys. For more information, call 0263-159-382 or 0203-299-538. This is an event you don't want to miss. See you there.
Help me sing.
Thank you for staying in tune. We are back again, still talking about the same topic of the causes of effect, feeling unloved. And we are glad to have our second guest speaker here, who is very, very
articulate.
She's very eloquent and very speakable, very young, dynamic woman. Very blessed. We are glad to have you once again, Sister Evelyn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. We are glad you came. And we really thank God for your life. As you know, we were talking about this. I know last week we went through some of the questions, and most people were listening to you. And I felt it's another privilege to have you on the program so you can tell us more, especially at your age, your friends, your environment, the community, things that you experience when it comes to how you guys being loved or feel unloved from either could be home, even school. Sometimes I know teachers can, hate some of the students for some reason. They can neglect them. They don't pay attention to them. They don't give them the maximum full attention. Even when it comes to studies and all those things, everyone,
the teachers,
right? As human as we are, we have the Adamic spirit in us.
They pick and choose.
We are very favoritism. Yeah. We are very favoritism, and this is my favorite, this is not my favorite, and all those kind of. So sometimes, even though you are there, you feel so neglected. So how do you feel when such things, you see those things? How do you feel?
What do you mean?
How do you feel like when you feel so neglected?
Oh, okay.
By not being acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Well, and with people in my generation, I think that sometimes, when we're put aside or when we're neglected, we feel like we're small. Yeah, we feel bitter sometimes. Okay. Again, when we're neglected against, everyone wants attention, and so when you don't get it in a way, you kind of draw back, or you kind of push yourself away from the person that you're not getting the love from. And so sometimes people in our generation kind of feel the boundaries, whether it be your parents, your teachers, or whoever you're going. Yeah, the conflict is with. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I would say.
There was something I was reading and it said neglect is difficult to identify and define, because neglect causes when a child doesn't have adequate supervision.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of kids in my school who just do whatever they want, and you can totally tell that their parents are not there for them mentally, physically. And sometimes you really see the effect of that. Those are the kids who, do whatever they want. They walk around, they don't have their work done at all. They're the kids who are always failing all their classes. They come back, but their parents are still rewarding them even though they're not up to par with, what they're supposed to be doing in school. And so you see the neglect in a way with them, but it's so interesting because to them, they feel it in a way, but then they try to play it off and they act like everything's okay sometimes. And that's their way of relieving themselves. And so it can have a very, negative effect on people. That's what I would say.
I think most of the things that we're discussing here, it's if we really, all these things are happening because for a child or to be out there, it's from home.
Yeah.
And we say charity begins from home. In the other words, we say love begins from home. Discipline begins from home. So if we see children out there doing their own thing, like I always ask this question, so where are the parents? Who is supervising them? Who is watching over them? Who is giving them the guidance? Who is there to supervise to see what they're doing? Like she's saying now, like sometimes you see them in school and they're doing their own thing. And you can tell that There is no supervision. You know, who is checking their homework? Who is marking and who is signing their homework to see that they really, and some of them too, I think the parents also just sign the homework because they feel it's on a blink for them to sign. And they don't even supervise to see whether their homework is done accurately or is not done accurately. They just sign and, take it to school and I see you bye-bye in the morning. Hey, guys, be careful. I have some chips on the table. Make sure you take a snack with you. And then, I see you when I come back and all those kind of things. I mean, it's really, really part of the thing that is going on in the community. If you can also tell us, what are the emotional neglect? The emotional neglect that happens in the home when parent doesn't provide enough or emotional support for the children.
So when sometimes the parents may draw back or pull back in a way, sometimes emotionally the child, will feel neglected. There's also that form of neglect. And so sometimes they will act up or they will draw away. In fact, the last time we were here, we talked about kids who ran away or who were doing drugs or doing things that they weren't supposed to do. And it's all contributed to the fact of neglect, emotionally and mentally. When the youth this day are faced with those sort of issues, they pull back. They don't know how to deal with certain issues, and they draw back to social media because they're more confined and they find more isolation within that. They're more prone to doing things, and so they just push back into whatever they feel like. In today's day and age, nobody cares. You ask the kid, why don't you have this done? Oh, I'm going to report you to your parents. The child says, oh, my parents don't care. They don't care about anything that I do. I'm just going to do what I'm doing. No one's there to train them, and you see the emotional neglect, and you can see how it truly affects them. You see them every day and how it affects them. So I mean,
I've heard most kids saying that, like if you tell them, I'm going to report you to your parents, they can tell you, oh, my parents don't care. I've heard most kids saying that my parents don't care anyway. So basically it is telling that even if you go report them to their parents, there is nothing can be done.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything about it.
And I feel some of them too, I feel that the kids are more threatened to their parents as well.
Oh yeah, some of the parents don't have control over them.
Yeah, they don't have control over them. So they feel threatened by the kids. Because I've seen, I remember years ago, there was this young lady who was misbehaving so badly to the extent that the father wanted to discipline her. And she looked at the parents and said, if you do, I will divorce you. Yes.
The child said,
that I will divorce you, in the sense that I'll call the authorities on you and let them know that you're abusing me.
Yeah.
So by so doing, they're going to take the child away from home. So meaning that he has divorced you.
Yeah. In this case, you can first report the issue.
You were going to say something.
I was just going to say, even in this day and age, like if we're talking about, in an African home, I also wanted to point out something because you were talking about something before on how you should train kids. In most African homes, you're more prone to, using the whip or using the hand. But in this 21st century, they have something that, counteracts that. Your child can call child services on you or do whatever you can. So I feel like in this day and age, we need to find new ways that are more effective and, reaching that understanding point, but also getting them to understand, like you said, taking away something that they love. You're also teaching them a lesson, and then you're showing them that, they're not going to get it back until they're able to realize what they're doing is wrong. Because in this day, and even if you think about it, hurting them physically, sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes with some people. It gets to a point when they're little, they can't defend themselves. It will work. Care. But when they get older, it gets to a point where it doesn't matter anymore. You can hit me, but I'm going to come back at you. That's not the example that you want to set. So I think that sometimes it's important to take a step back and analyze the situation and see how you can, target it at a more effective angle. So that's what I would say as well.
When I was young, I was very, very stubborn. I've been there though, I was very, very stubborn to the point that my father when my father whipped you, until you have a stretch or marks on you, he will never leave you.
He won't stop.
He won't stop. That's how very my dad was. To the point that in the midst of all, I realized that I'm getting used to the whip.
Yes, it's true.
I got used to the whip, so even when I do, I was like, after all, he's gonna beat me anyway. So I was, used to the whip.
Yeah.
You know, I was get to the, so I go and do my thing. I say, okay, after all, he's going to beat me anyway.
Yeah.
So let me just go and do it. And these are some of the things that is happening now.
Exactly.
It's happening now, you know, because the kids will say, after all, she's going to yell anyway. You know, she's going to yell.
It
And
happens
then
all the time.
with the system that we are in, they know a lot of stuff because even at the age of 5, things that they teach them at school, it will blow your mind. They teach them so many things, how even to know what's the difference between men and female, sex and all those things. From the age of 5, they start teaching them all those things. They know, you know, my son, when he was in pre-K, before he get to classroom, the teachers will always come, look at his body to see if there are bruises. You know,
yeah, of course,
they
yes.
check to make sure whether there has been some beating and all those things. You know, they check all those things. And those times, we did not, why are they looking at my child like, what is going on? You know, so we really have to find out that they look at those things to make sure they determine if the home is abusive home. That's how they determine, to know if the home is abusive home. So by so doing, they can check that and they can call the social services
Yeah.
on you, and then they can take the kids away from you because they can tell you that you're abusing the child. And those are some of the things that are happening. And you see, those things are, I call them home violence. You know, home violence or family violence. This is what I call them. You know, some home, I'm telling you, you cannot, I mean, you go to some homes, you'll be surprised that they even know they have no regards whether there's a visitor there or not.
Oh,
and
yes, I know.
And the same attitude of how they live.
Yes. I've seen it
The
before.
same attitude of how they live still goes on. And then later they'll come, oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you know,
I shouldn't have done that.
I'm sorry, you know, my kids are always like that, and I have to yell if I don't yell at them, if I don't do this. I mean, like I said, we go around and we talk to people, we go to homes, you know, and we see a lot of things. You know. So most of the family violence can affect anyone, and he said it can happen in any kind of family. Sometimes parents abuse each other, which can be hard for a child to witness.
Yes.
Some parents abuse their kids by using physical, verbal, or cruelty as a way of what discipline.
Yeah.
That's what I told you my sister experienced. And she will stand there and watch, but I will run away from home when I was a kid. And she was getting whipped all the time. So at a point in her life, she didn't care about the whip anymore. When my father is coming, she's standing there, kill me. Kill me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But for me, I would jump through the wall and I'm gone.
You are the man.
Yes.
You are always the man.
Yes.
You know, growing up, I did that thing one time. Not that my father was very abusive. He wasn't abusive, but then again, he's a very disciplined man.
Strict, yeah.
Straight discipline.
It makes sense.
You know, very strict and disciplined. And there you.
That is
You
their
know,
discipline.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know,
way they discipline.
And me coming up at that time, you know, I became very independent very, very young.
Very
At a
quickly.
very, very young age, very independent. So I saw myself to the point that if I can be independent at such age, why would I allow my father to be controlling me and be telling me stuff?
Exactly.
So at that point, I left home.
You were like 16.
I left home. And I left home, none of my parents, nobody knew where I was. I wasn't going to school. I was doing my own business.
Wow.
And nobody, even from the neighborhood, get to know where I am.
Oh, wow.
For one day, that luck was not on my side. One lady saw me, and not knowing my mother has been making an announcement and telling everybody that his son has left home for almost a week now.
You're in trouble.
You know, so this lady went and told my mother that he saw me, and he know where
You're in trouble.
you know. And guess what? That day, surprisingly, I didn't know the lady was going to do that, you know, because my mind was not telling me if this lady is going to go to my mother, because I wasn't thinking that my mother had spread the news around, you know. And
Did you know her?
I know her.
Oh,
You know, so, but she's, you know, it's not like today when you have telephone. that you can make a phone call. I'm talking about where she lives.
House to house.
And where she lives and where we live is a distance. You know, it's a distance. So it's not like you can pick up a phone and call, hey, I saw your son here and there. So my thinking is, oh, I don't think she's going to travel from New York and come to Jersey, or from Jersey to go to Philadelphia and go and tell my mother she saw me. That was my thinking at that moment. But then again, my mother got to know.
You see, it was so amazing how things used to travel in those days. Even though there was no telephone, there was nothing, but the way messages used to travel, it was unbelievable.
You'll be surprised where they met, at the marketplace.
Yep.
At the marketplace.
Yep. Everybody knows everybody,
Everybody
from
knows,
the
yes.
other town.
Because they know where they meet.
Yep.
And that is where it happened. You know, that is where it happened. And surprisingly, I was home where my lodging place was. I was there and my mother showed up. My mother showed up.
Wow.
You know? So she said, let's go home.
Let's go
And
home.
then what did you
Let's
say?
go home.
You didn't get beaten.
Did you fight? Did you try to say, no, I'm not going to go back?
I told her to take the lead, I'll come. But she refused. You know, she refused.
smart.
She said, no, once she's here, we have to go home. They want me back home. You know? And I told them, if they stop being so strict on me, then I'll come.
We'll come.
But if they don't, then I'm not coming.
You were
But-
able to tell them.
Oh, yes. But she made me felt like
You are loved.
I'm loved.
Yeah, like she
Okay.
wanted you back again.
Right.
Right.
And I should come home.
Okay.
No matter what it is, there's not going to be beating. There's not going to be discipline. I should just come home. And that day I got home, my mother, you know, those times, my mother was the one who fetched water in the bucket for me to go and take my bath,
She missed you.
you know, and make sure, you know, get a haircut, you know, new shirts, new pants.
You were looking
know.
like Osama bin Laden.
So I was like, okay, now I feel it now, you know. So in my mind, I was like, there you again, do it again. I will go, you know. And trust me, in this present generation, see what I did in that past, and it's happening today.
Yeah.
And today it is very easy
Easy.
because the communication-wise and the technology-wise is more effective than those days. It's more effective than those days. And today, these things are happening so quick to the extent that
quick.
they can just make a phone call, call a friend, and by the time you realize
They're gone.
they're gone. They are gone.
Happened in my school.
It did happen.
Yeah, a lot of kids. Sometimes they decide to run away, and then, you know, they spread it around the school, and then all you can hope to do is that someone sees them, and then the parent gets the phone call, but sometimes they don't even get it. Yeah, so.
It happened when I was in med
And they
school.
don't come to school.
It happened when I was in med school. One of the students, not knowing, she has not been staying home. And she's been hanging out with friends and all those. So one of the Fridays, I believe that after classes, they decided to go out to the club and all those things. And unfortunately, for them all, they got into an accident and they all died.
How many of them were there?
3.
Wow.
And they all died instantly at the spot. Instantly on the spot.
Young
Instantly
adults
on the spot.
and the youth. I hope you are hearing this.
You know, instantly on the spot, they all died. And some of us got to hear all this from the news. And then Monday, it was on the front page. You know, student from Sanford Brown Institute and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, until the parents were saying they've been looking, you know,
For them.
For them. You know. And sometimes, as parents, we need to also supervise when they tell you, I'm going to go spend time with my friends. Or can I go for 2 days with my friends? Or my friend is having a party. Daddy, mommy, can I go? We need to call the parent to find out
Fine,
exactly
exactly.
if really there is a party going on.
My parents do that, yeah.
They have to find out. Even if it's deemed necessary for you to go and drop them,
Yeah,
you go and drop them.
Yes.
But not just allow them to go by
Yeah.
themselves.
I think 3 years ago, Thanksgiving Day, That time I was hurt with my hands, and so I ordered food. So I went to pick it up, and I called my son, my last one, and I said, I went to pick up our Thanksgiving food, and I'm on my way home. He said, oh, my friend picked me up, and we are going to Pennsylvania or somewhere. I said, what?
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving Day? Who friend? Then he mentioned the friend's name. I said, give the phone to your friend. Because I asked him, where are you going? He said, he didn't tell me where we are going. He said he wants to surprise me. I said, give the phone to your friend. Tell him I want to talk to him. If he's driving, tell him to pull on the side. So I talked to his friend. I said, listen, I'm giving you 15 minutes.
Make a U-turn.
I want my son home now. He was on the phone. I said, are you hearing me? He said, yes. I said, I want my son home now.
How old was he?
He was, I think, around 17, 18.
Okay.
Yes. And I said, well, if your parent allow you to travel,
That's what your parents
that's your parent.
Exactly.
You know, there are certain things I said, I don't want to say
Right.
it here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, by the time I got home, my son was home.
Yeah, because they have to.
I said, how do you feel with my action? He said, hey, you are mother. Every mother will act like the same. Every mother, he said, every mother who cares will act the same. I went to be that boy's mother, and I said, tell your son, don't he ever do what he did. Because I don't want to be, but we don't allow our children to do what your son is doing.
Most parents don't really
And it
care.
didn't happen again.
Most parents don't care about those things. They feel because maybe they know the family or they know the people. As long as your daughter or your son comes and tell you, oh, mom, pops, dad, I want to go spend time with these people. Oh, it's okay. Be careful. You guys behave well. Stay there and all those kind of things. And these are some of the things that, most parents don't really pay attention to because sometimes there's a particular family and as a parent, you like them or you love them so much. So your child can tell you that's where he or she is going.
Yeah.
And we don't even make a phone call to find out if really indeed that is where they are going. And as soon as they say, oh, Evangelist Beatrice, oh yeah, that's fine. You guys say hello to her for me and, and blah, 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 and that's it. You guys just be careful, behave, and then bye. And I see you, okay?
It's not easy at all when it comes to teenager and stuff.
Yeah, we're very sneaky.
Very, very.
I know some of my friends.
How many times have you been sneaking out?
No, not me, but I know some of my friends who know that their parents will call other people. So, take for example, I have a friend, right? And she told her mom that she was going to her other friend's house. Okay, let me just use my sister as an example. That's literally, what happened. So basically, her friend, right, she wanted to go to another friend's house, but her mom didn't want her to go there. So then she asked my sister for a drive there, and then she told my sister that when her mom calls to tell her that she's with her.
See?
And
they do that.
Yeah, and they cover for each other.
They do that. They do that a lot. Oh, yeah, he's here with me. Oh, yeah. And woe to you if you say, let me talk to her, they will have an excuse to tell you.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, he just went to the men's room. He went to the, they will tell you something. And by the time they will tell you, call your mom.
Call your mom, yeah.
Your mom is looking to call you, But meanwhile, you are not there. They're sneaky. They are very, very sneaky, So it's very important for parents. We have to really supervise and watch our kids, pay attention to them, the youth. Like I said, we always say that they are their future. But for me, I'm saying that this is where we get them into the movement. It is now. So that when we are not there, then because if we are here and we are saying they are the future, and we are not implementing anything for them, bringing something adequately for them to have in their mind and see themselves that they are also part of the society, but rather they've been neglected and dejected, they don't have a future.
Yeah.
They don't have a future. But if we bring them in, incorporate them to what we are doing, then we can say they have a future. Because they see what we are doing, and they can copy what we are doing, and they can follow what we're doing. And when we are not there, they can take it on. They can take it on. You see, it's like somebody who doesn't have resources in him or her. If somebody doesn't have resources in him or her, if you assign that person to duty, if you assign them to duty, all what they talk about you, the person who assigned them to duty. And they keep mentioning your name. Or they keep mentioning, I'm here because of Evangelist Beatrice. Evangelist Beatrice is very good at what she does. And for that reason, that is why I'm representing Evangelist Beatrice. This is where Evangelist Beatrice have assigned you. So you go there because you don't have nothing in you. You are talking more of the person who sent you. But if you have resources in you, then you go there, represent as if even she doesn't even exist. And that is where you can see the potential in the people. That is where you see the potential in them. But anytime you see them, they're talking about the other person, it means that they're empty. There's nothing. So this is where I believe we bring them together, impart something positive into them, let them know, hey, this is where we are. We are taking the movement. We are going forward. We are all incorporating all of you into this. So even if you are not there, they can take it on.
And the impacting also takes a constant communication. If a parent, if you do a lot of communication with the child, it makes them feel comfortable, it brings them closer to you, and then also make them believe that you care about their life.
Right.
Because all along you're asking them, how's your school, how's this, how that. Some of the kids, whilst you are talking to them, they are going. But don't stop. Keep, asking. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Viewers, thank you for watching us. Sister Evelyn, what do you have for us tonight to tell our young adults that the teens are there, they're listening, the youth are there, they want to listen to you. I know you have so much resources in you, you can bring it out there, encourage them, give them a positive words, and let them know that, hey, they are also part of the community. They are part of the family. They belong to the family. What do you have to tell them? What do you have to tell them? Tell the young adults.
I mean, even speaking on the subject of neglect today, you may feel that emotionally and physically and mentally sometimes. And I think the most important part is to just encourage yourself to do better and not to let that take over, as the main part. Because once you start to do that, you kind of just start falling out of areas. And so just always try and lift yourself up. And even if, try and do things that will cheer you up, whether it be sports, activities, do something that you like, that'll help you so that you're able to, actively and physically, help and implement or, successfully help your community in any way possible. So I guess the whole goal that I'm saying is be self-determined and always strengthen yourself and whatever you may be doing.
Be self-determined and always be determined. Very, very important, very, very important. Evangelist, I know today your voice is not, but I know you have some few words to tell our viewers as they be watching us. You have something to tell them tonight, because we haven't still tackled a lot of key points, dealing with these issues of the neglect and unfeeling, because love is a very broad topic, and we haven't even got deep into it yet. But I believe that the next time we'll talk more, go deeper. But for now, what do you have for our viewers?
The only thing I can say for us
look into that camera and then tell them
is that encourage them, have constant conversation with them, and then also, by having that constant conversation with them, it helps them to know that you value them. And they feel valued that, my parents is always having conversation with me, asking me questions, and finding out my well-being. If you keep doing that, the children also will know that you value them, you respect them. And everything is going to be all right. Let's have patience for them. And on top of it, pray for them all the time. Pray without ceasing. That is what the Bible says. As parents, always pray for your children.
And not on top of that, not just, but then again, we have to make sure we really check to make sure what they're telling us is always the truth. You know, that is another thing we have to, as parents, we really have to make sure everything they tell us, even though they can communicate with us, but sometimes it cannot be what they are telling us, you know, is the real thing. Yeah. But so we also have to make sure we find out to make sure what they're telling us is the truth. Tonight, so soon, before we end this program, I would like to take this opportunity to endorse 3G Media Magazine right here on Back TV. Mr. CNN, I know you are all the way back in Ghana. God richly bless you for this wonderful magazine that you brought, and I want to take this opportunity. Back TV want to endorse 3G Media Magazine for your great work. You are a philanthropist. You are very great at what you do, and the magazine is very, 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 very great. And I see we have here we have Back TV right in the page. Yes, Mr. CNN has done very well to put that on right here. Back TV, we are right on in 3G Media Magazine. This is real time with AB, when the real people recognize the real. And we want to take this opportunity to endorse 3G Media Magazine 2019. Viewers, thank you so much for your time. You can grab a copy. Call me if you need a copy. I can give you a copy. If you know how to reach Mr. CNN, 3G Media, you can also contact him and you can get a copy. And let's support his work. Let's support the great work that he's doing for the community. He has been a very great asset with the Africans and the Ghanaian community very well, and he's doing a marvelous, marvelous job. And let's continue to support his work. God richly bless you once again. What time? Yeah, maybe we do that next week. Yeah, we do that next week. Once again, we want to acknowledge Believers Temple of Praise, who are proud sponsors for this program. Destiny Impact, who are also our proud sponsors for this program. And please don't forget, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be an Impact Hour here, and it's going to be another interesting topic to be discussed. And stay tuned, and please enjoy the show. Share your comments, share your views on Facebook, on YouTube, and we'll be glad to be there to assist you in any questions that you have. Like I always say, if you have any topic, if it's a show you want to broadcast on this network, you are always welcome. Just write down the number on the screen at the end of the program and just call us, and we'll make the necessary arrangements, and we'll make sure your voice also, or your program or your show will be aired on the Back TV live and stream. We thank you so much for your time, and may God richly bless you. Same time next week at 7:30. We see you again. Bye-bye.